Hey, how you doing? Good morning. So, voted this morning? Fine. Great. Everybody go out there and vote. And then we'll see what happens in a few days. Now, a couple other thoughts about the Maslow. Why, Dave, are you so down on the Maslow? Key thing to keep in mind, just so we're on the same page here. I really don't care about what Maslow might have meant, what Maslow really said, or even what they say in the textbook. As someone who is a psychologist, who's taught for a while, who knows how these textbook things work, let me just say, as a rule of thumb, that dude or dudette who wrote your textbook, I guarantee you they have not read every single thing that they've referenced in the back of that book. I also guarantee you that they probably have not gone back and read the original source. They are citing what other people have said about what other people have said about what other people have said about. Contemporary versions of textbooks are no different than any other game of telephone. And if something has been misrepresented way back when, it usually continues to get misrepresented because people tend not to be that intellectually rigorous and go back and read the original source. So for this, the original source is what is Maslow's original words. What did he say? I don't care about what he meant. I only care about what he wrote. So, with that in mind, let's keep something in mind. Maslow's model has nothing to do with lifting everybody up and how anybody can become self-actualized. You know, hint one, how I know that? Because if it did, it wouldn't be a triangle, it would be one big-ass rectangle, right? Let's see how all 100 people at the bottom can be self-actualized to get 100 self-actualized people up at the top. That's what that assumption means. But it ain't. It isn't. It's not a model that purports to see how you can get from the bottom to the top. It's not a bottom-up model, as Maslow originally wrote it. It is a model that is a top-down model. It starts with saying, there are these weird people out there who appear to have everything that are, in Maslow's own words, messianic and mission-driven, and they appear to be self-actualized. How did they get that way? And then it goes and identifies these things. Hence, a pyramid. You start out with a whole bunch of people, and again, as Maslow said, 100 people at the bottom, and only 2 of them manage to get all the way up to the top. So, we've got this pyramid idea. A lot of people get kicked out along the way. They get kicked off of the witch's pyramid. Another thing, once you get kicked off the witch's pyramid, you do not get to go back on. Again, it's what Maslow said. Once you get off the pyramid, you don't get back on. Once you get off it, you're done. You don't get to be self-actualized. Now, some people have reinterpreted this and said, oh yes, but you can get off the pyramid and then you can have a sucky life, but you can learn how to enjoy a sucky life and be happy with the sucky life that you have. You know what? That's pretty goddamn depressing, and it's just not true. If people just think about Maslow's model for a minute, and I want you to think about it for a minute, and I want you to think about it in the way that I had to think about it for a minute. I worked years ago for Catholic Children's Aid. I was part of the legal team that did physical and sexual abuse investigations, assisted the social workers, 25 to 30 physical and sexual abuse investigations a week. And if Maslow was right, every single one of those beautiful, wonderful children's souls, lights of the universe, fucked for life. They could never self-actualize because they got kicked out of that love and belonging thing. Anyone who had to go without a meal, anyone who grew up in poverty, anyone who had any of those safety and belongingness needs, just take those first 2 basic ones. Imagine what, and you know, Tim Waltz, you're a teacher. I'm a teacher. You've probably been in a situation like I have, where your students have divulged things to you that are painful aspects of their lives. And would you, purported believer in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, say to that student, sorry your parents lost your job or they got divorced and you lost your house and you're now living on the streets? That means, according to Maslow, you are out of the pyramid, and from now on your life is totally fucked and you can never self-actualize. Because that's what Maslow said. And again, don't care what he meant. Don't care how he's interpreted in somebody else's book because it's a little too uncomfortable to take him at his word. That is what the model says. So, more on this coming up. Ciao. We will chat again later.